It was the moment that Marshawn Lynch dreamed of, his first game as an Oakland Raider inside the Coliseum. Hello and welcome to Vegas Nation. I'm Bryan Salmond. Well, today, it was that day, and it played out like a dream for Lynch, as his Raiders were a 2-touchdown favorite entering, and they covered. Imagine that. Dominating the New York Jets 42-20 and moving to 2-0 on the season. Lynch, he carried the ball 12 times for 45 yards and scored his first touchdown wearing the silver and black in the hometown of Oakland as a Raider. Now, the crowd, they were pumped. Lynch, he was pumped. So much so, he was seen getting hyphy on the sidelines. Raiders beat writer Michael Gehlken and sports columnist Ron Kantowski witnessed this wonderfulness in person there in Oakland and have more.
Hi, Ron Kantowski, sports columnist at the Review Journal. He's Michael Gehlken, expert on all things silver and black. Michael, today, Raiders open at home, looking for another big win after opening the season with an impressive victory against the Titans last week. Looking for another big one today. They got it, 45-20 over the Jets. Your thoughts?
We'll break down the game. We'll break down how the Raiders won. There's some aspects of this that were important, but I think the thing to acknowledge at top, it felt like an Oakland Raiders team that isn't going to Las Vegas anytime soon. To some degree, they aren't going to Las Vegas right away. It's going to be that 2020, but you see in the fourth quarter, they're running away with this one, as many people expected, and Marshawn Lynch is on the sideline. A song called Oakland blares from the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, and he's dancing, he's bobbing up and down, his dreadlocks are all around his face, and the way his teammates respond, the way the crowd respond when that was on the big video screen, I think you didn't really get a sense of this was the first regular season game since the NFL owners approved the relocation. You just didn't get a sense that this team is anything but the Oakland Raiders, which is kind of a cool environment while the Raiders are here.
Totally agree. Fantastic energy in this old stadium today. It was palpable from an hour before kickoff. Like you said, it went on through the fourth quarter. Again, a lot of big play capability today that we saw. Some long touchdown runs really changed the complexion of the game. Can you talk about those? And a lot of different guys performing in that regard.
Right. You had 52-yarder, 40-plus yarder. Cordero Patterson, the wide receiver who's lined up at shotgun, taking the handoff. Jalen Richard. Not just when Marshawn Lynch is in the field can the Raiders accomplish what they want to accomplish as an offense. But I think it's just critical for this team's success, not just on Sunday, but moving forward. They can stay fresh over the course of the season in terms of Marshawn, 31 years old, but keep him fresh over the course of games so that in the fourth quarter, if they do need to grind it out, which is not what they had to do on Sunday, they can have him be fresh because they kept him fresh. So having Jalen Richard, having DeAndre Washington, and even mixing up wide receiver and Cordero Patterson, certainly a testament to the potency of this offense.
And the defense today, solid, I thought. We weren't playing a great team, but more than adequate on defense. Would you agree?
Yeah, there were some penalties that they probably want to clean up. Especially on two unnecessary roughness, or one unnecessary roughness and one taunting call on the Jets' first two scoring drives. Those 15-yard penalties won't help, but clean those up. Moving forward, see the pressure. That's been a constant so far this season. Khalil Mack had his first sack. Carl Joseph, safety, was able to get his first career sack. Others were involved. And then Garron Conley, the first-round draft pick who finally made his NFL debut, tested early, pass breakup. Didn't test him much after that, but that's a good sign for the Raiders' first-round pick. The kind of start that I think not just as an individual, not just as a defense, but as an entire team that the Raiders wanted.
So that's it. Raiders go to 2-0 early in the season. What does this say moving forward?
I think it says it's early in the season. It's a good start, and I think that is something that the Raiders can be proud about. It can be something that they celebrate, in the case of Marshawn, dance to, but it's still 2-0. It's still early in the year. So I think we're going to have a better sense of what this team is. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself over the course of the year, and that will start next Sunday with another test on the road against the Washington Redskins.
Okay, that's it. He's Mike. I'm Ron. Back to you guys in the studio.
I appreciate it. So, as always, in studio, we have Gilberto Manzano, the writer for the RJ for the NFL, obviously. And I have a question. Marshawn Lynch played in the game. I knew that because we saw some ridiculous pictures and hyphy and all this other stuff. Did Amari Cooper actually play in the game?
I don't know. He might have been missing. I don't know where he was. No, Cooper was on the field.
Okay.
Facing the best corners, every week. So I think for him, it's kind of hard to get past those corners. I know you want him to play like a first-round pick, but when you got Crabtree and Cooper, you got to pick your poison. So they're always going to pick Cooper.
Okay.
Crabtree gets 3 touchdowns, and he was the star of the day. Well, I guess behind Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, behind Marshawn Lynch. Yeah, Crabtree more than made up for anything that Cooper did or did not do in the game, for sure. I can agree with that. Now, we have to talk about, we talked about like off camera the fight, Canelo and Triple G. Let's talk about one of the worst calls that I've ever seen in a football game. Bruce Irvin, the tackle, which he was called for an excessive tackle. I don't know.
Yeah.
What the heck was going on with that?
I think the point of the game is to get the defender, the offensive player down, right? The defender has to tackle him to the ground. So I guess, I don't know what can you do there. There was like, the whistle has not blown yet, so you have to tackle the guy, whatever you can do. I didn't see a horse collar, a face mask, or nothing. It was an illegal play. I guess it was a little too rough for the referees.
Have you seen a penalty worse than that, honestly?
There's been some bad ones in the NFL, but just because for week 2, I guess it takes a cake.
it takes a little bit, okay. And lastly, I'm a little bit shocked, but are you shocked in the fact that the Raiders actually covered the line? Because it was nearly a 2-touchdown line, and for the NFL, that's a pretty tough one. But they blew that out of the water.
I'm not really shocked. The Jets are going to be bad. They might even go 0-16 and winless. So let's not get carried away with the victory. The Raiders look great, but I want to see some more competition. Maybe next week against the Redskins and Kirk Cousins, and maybe some more attack there, because Josh McCown and those guys, they don't really scare anybody. But overall, it was a good day for the Raiders. They got the fans, hyped up. Hyphy was the word of the day.
Yeah.
And just 2-0. Can't complain with that.
All right, cool. My man, Roberto Manzano, the sharp writer, NFL writer here for the Review Journal. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, that'll do it. Thank you for joining us for Vegas Nation. Up next for the Raiders are the Redskins. That game will be played in D.C. It's a primetime matchup, but it is an opportunity for the Silver and Block to improve to 3-0 on the season. For Michael Gehlken, I'm Bryan Salmond for Vegas Nation saying, see you next time.